Hi, my name is Briana. I'm the admin assistant at Cognitive Center, and this is...
My name is Ky, and I'm the social media manager of the Cognitive Center.
And this podcast is...
Out of Focus.
So we started this podcast because we wanted to bring light into mental health issues since they're out of focus. And we want to bring them in focus.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you decided you wanted to give up during New Year's, but then didn't give up?
You want to answer that? Or you want me to go first?
You should go first.
I think I wanted... I don't know if I wanted to give up anything. I don't even think I have a New Year plans or goals. But, let me think of something. If I were to give up something, it'll have to be, eating a lot of junk food. But, I'm never giving that up.
What?
So, what should we be talking about for this first podcast?
It was going to be my turn.
Yeah, Briana has one.
Oh, sorry, Brianna. Sorry, Brianna.
So, what I wanted to give up for the new year, I think I wanted to give up laziness, which is such a broad term, even though laziness isn't really laziness. But I wanted to stop being lazy and start exercising. I think I did it the first week and then I gave up.
Yeah.
And I would try and restart it over and over again, but then I would just give up and it's been the same thing, just a cycle.
Yeah.
That meme where whenever you have to wake up and you have to go to school or go to work, you see them showered and they're just sitting on their bed staring at the floor for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's my routine.
Yeah. Those memes are funny. It's very relatable. Mm-hmm.
We're talking about ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder.
Mm-hmm. And there's two type of ADHD. There's inattentiveness and there's actually three. So I know there's inattentiveness, hyperactivity, and then is it combined? Yeah. Okay, I got that. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like people mostly know just ADHD, the hyperactive, but not the inattentive side, which is mostly what would it be you can't focus,
mm-hmm.
which is the inattentive, you can't prioritize those tasks,
mm-hmm.
so you don't focus.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people think is you have ADHD. You see a lot of little children, a lot of boys that
mm-hmm.
are mostly diagnosed with ADHD. They're hyperactive. They're running around,
mm-hmm.
Screaming, jumping off the walls. But a lot of girls are underdiagnosed because a lot of women, they have the inattentive, which is they have a hard time focusing. A lot of them can be quiet, so it's not very noticeable.
Yeah.
So a lot of women are underdiagnosed with the inattentive side of ADHD.
Yeah. And you can actually see that in some TV shows too. Have you ever watched Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one clip of that, I forgot what his name is. That Malcolm is the kid, right? And that's his father, the father. There was a clip of him doing a bunch of things. He's trying to fix a light bulb, and then suddenly he goes and he fixes his car, and then he's jumping onto different tasks, and he doesn't focus on one thing. And by the time his wife comes home, she asks him, "Hey, did you fix the light bulb?" He's like, what does it look like I'm doing? Yeah, so it's stressful for those kind of people where they want to finish one thing, but they just can't because, their mind just go off all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any personal experience, any family members or friends that have had ADHD?
I don't have any like personal experience with seeing people with ADHD, but I feel like I myself have symptoms, it's not necessarily ADHD, but I can understand the people that does have it because it's similar, some symptoms are very similar to like depression or anxiety or PTSD. I guess I'm very forgetful, like I can never remember anything, like I can't even remember a question that you just asked, unless somebody is actually like going back and forth with it, and I also can't do things like on the spot either. So it's taking me very hard time to actually talk about it right here. So give me something like symptoms and then let me see if I have one of those.
Executive function, time management, the lack of organization.
Time management. I definitely have issues with my time management because like sometimes the time just passed by so fast. Sometimes I even like tell these girls, like, hey, doesn't the day feel so short? Because like I'm like sitting there, like sometimes I have kind of like what people would call ADHD paralysis, where like you have to finish something but you just can't because like just full of anxiety. Like I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, this thing right in front of me, I should do it, I have to do it, and I just stare at it instead. And I get more nervous as I stare at it, and the task isn't even hard, the task is super easy, I can totally do it, but I just can't. It's just that's the paralysis in the ADHD part. It's really sad. Sometimes, like I joke about these things, but it actually pains me. Like it hurts me a lot. And I get fear and paranoia, like I never feel secure. Yeah, because of, I know how I'm like. And I know not many people can accommodate for that, but thankfully, like working, at the cognitive center, like my manager is pretty accommodating, So thank you. So I guess I realized these kind of things. So work accommodation for ADHD is very crucial.
Yeah, because you can do so many other things, but when you have that one task that you're kind of like not necessarily avoiding, but you're having anxiety because maybe you feel like you're gonna do it wrong. Maybe there's like some people like to work under pressure. They need that like adrenaline rush to like be able to finish the task. And from what I see in a lot of people with ADHD is they have that procrastination. Personally, I as well deal with a lot of procrastination. I like to do things at the last minute because I feel personally that's whenever I get my best work is whenever I'm doing it under pressure. But sometimes it bites me in the butt because I'll have like 6-page word essays that I need to do, and then I'm like up till like midnight trying to cram everything in, and sometimes I'll do it late. And you think, oh, that's where the time management comes in. I think, oh, I have until like 12 a.m. to finish this essay, but then when 11 hits, that's whenever I start doing it.
I relate to that. So like I have some triggers, personal triggers, and those personal triggers often comes up in my life, and I just those really make it hard to manage those symptoms. But I guess like goes back to like it's also like something that you need to learn the techniques to manage it. So we do have a lot of resources here at the Cognitive Center, like we, not a shameless plug or anything, but like the Cognitive Center actually have like these classes where they shows you, like all these treatments and all of these,
coping skills.
Yes, coping skills. You get group therapy, you get online education to, learn about ADHD, and
how you can better manage your symptoms.
Yes.
Like-
I did notice another symptoms that I have, you know, is that when you're talking, I have to bite my tongue. Because I am so impatient. Like like you're talking, right? But I'm trying not to talk over you. I feel like that's the impatient part where like I have so much to say. Like my brain is just growing everywhere. Like every single word you talk or say, I can pick up on that word and think about anything. And then I want to share it. And like I want to talk. I want to relate to it. You know, so I keep... Like, I have to hold on. Like, she's not finished yet. Just let her finish, and then you talk. So, yeah, I do have to bite my tongue.
Honestly, I've noticed that as well, having had experience with people with ADHD. They tend to interrupt, but they don't mean to. A lot of people see it as rude, but having been exposed to different mental illnesses, I don't really find that rude. So, also, as well with this podcast, we want to make people understand others with mental illnesses, because we have to understand each other to be able to grow and cope well as a society. So, you know, don't take it in a bad way if someone interrupts you. I'm sure, you know, they're dealing with symptoms that you don't even know. We want to... and a lot of people don't know that because it's very stigmatized within our society, mental health, and we're trying to destigmatize that.
Yeah.
So I'm currently a student at California State Bakersfield. I'm a psychology major. I have about a year left to graduate. So a lot of my knowledge is from the classes that I've taken: social psychology, abnormal psychology, biopsychology, different things, cognitive psychology, where, you know, you learn theories about inattentive blindness, stuff like that explains how our world works and how we perceive things, how we view things, the different personality traits, the different mental health disorders there are, and the different treatments that these mental health disorders receive.
I'm glad you're going to school for that. I did want to be a psychology major at one point in my life, but you know what? My parents said no.
Honestly, Ky, she's a computer science major, and I wanted to do that as well, but I'm not good at math.
I'm not good at math either, Briana. I suffered so much. I have PTSD. That's where my symptoms are coming from. PTSD from all of those math and physics classes.
Okay. So...
Are you going to read that?
Yeah, so... Yeah. This is the ADHD Reddit post. This is a person who has dealt with stigma for the first time. So his username is educationalmind439, and he said he's seeking empathy and support. So I went and saw a naturopath, you know, today to deal with some health issues that literally have got nothing to do with ADHD. She asked me why I struggle to eat sometimes, and I said it's got to do with my executive function. I like cooking, but can find it boring, sometimes feel like too big of a task. I'm also indecisive as hell and often just don't eat meals when I can't decide. Or if I'm doing a task, I'll often forget to eat. I feel like the majority of people with ADHD could relate to that. She then goes on to make the whole rest of the session about my ADHD. She says she can't believe how everyone thinks that they have ADHD these days, especially women, and that so many women come to her with ADHD and blame all of their problems on ADHD. Then she said that no one in her day had ADHD and that no one took Ritalin, and apparently too many kids these days take it. Like, what the F? I literally wish I was diagnosed as a kid so I could have had Ritalin. My whole childhood would have been so much easier. Then she told me that I don't eat because I'm too picky and it's all just in my head, and that I can't use my ADHD as an out of jail card. Her exact words. So yeah, I walked out feeling invalidated and stupid.
Yeah. Even I feel invalidated after hearing that. And I already know the story. Hearing it the second time hurts me too.
So I wouldn't, I don't really like when people that don't have the psychology, like the clinicians that aren't like able to diagnose. She's a naturopath.
I feel like
she's not even like she can't even diagnose or like talk about like, well, she can, but she doesn't have experience with mental health disorders or treating them. She's nowhere in that field of that. So she's just...
Wait, what is even a naturopath?
I don't know.
Wait, let's look that up.
It's like alternative medicine.
Alternative medicine? Like if you can get pills for like pain relief for your broken shoulder,
it's natural medicine. So like the essential oils and like CBD.
All right, that's the first step that they went wrong.
It was for other problems rather than their ADHD.
Yeah, usually those are just for like
physical problems.
Yeah.
So there's 2 edits on this post. He or she states, people judging me for seeing a naturopath. I needed to get a blood test for an autoimmune disease that my doctor refused to give me because there's only a certain number of types of blood tests GPs can do in Australia. I didn't see her to get herbal teas. Second edit. The clinic she works ended up giving me a full refund.
Oh, so there's a good ending. See, it wasn't in the USA.
That's not good, Ky.
Well, but what I meant was, you know what? I don't want to explain. I don't want to say that. I might just dig myself a bigger hole. Okay, so
it's worldwide.
Okay.
I would like to say.
Well, I'm glad he got a refund because like what the health. Well, so because like he didn't come and ask her for her opinions on his ADHD. What is she doing? It's like that meme, girl. What is you doing? Yeah, but the stigma is real. People don't believe in mental health where like you can't really prove it.
Have you ever dealt with stigma?
Well,
with mental health stigma?
Yes. Myself, I used to be like, mental health isn't real. But I'm reformed. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm reformed, okay? Now I after being exposed to more like mental health, information, education, from working here. I learned to like be more kind to myself. Like I used to tell myself like I'm just making excuse, like I'm trying to put a name to my laziness or something, right? Like that's what a lot of people think. Yeah, a lot of people think like, oh my god, I'm just lazy, I'm just saying that I have depression, like my depression isn't real, Like I think of that thing. So like even my depression has, like the imposter syndrome. Right? Like my depression is also self-doubting itself. So I ADHD, things like that. Yeah. So a lot of people feels that way. So it's like if you don't support yourself, how are you gonna support other people, right? And that's like you have to learn to know what you can have, and to be able to prevent or find treatments for it. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just just like you have a panic attack, right? And then somebody just go by like just chill. You know, like it's like that whole Reddit, like, thanks, I'm cured. Thanks, I'm cured. I'll just, stop panicking, stop being anxious, thank you for your wise and kind word. It's also sucky because some of these people don't know any better as well. So they just think like, hey, they don't really know what to say. It's not like they can like diagnose you like, oh my god, you have a panic attack. This is, like, here are all these things that I can do for you. You can't really do anything for that person. You can only be there to be supportive. But some people, they are not aware that you can probably just sit there and just be there for them instead of just saying these words. It's almost feel kind of taunting, like, yeah, I'm anxious, and then someone goes up to me and be like, don't be anxious. Like, how about like I'm anxious about like my math test. Right? Yeah, I'm like, I study so much, but I think I'm gonna fail. And then this guy comes up and I'm like, no, you're not gonna fail. You're gonna pass. Like. But I'm still anxious, like. But when they say something like that, it makes me kind of worried. Like I feel worse. I don't feel any better when you're just, ignoring what I'm feeling.
So, so a better way to approach that. Do you feel like, why are you feeling this way? Like, bringing up that point, like, why are you feeling anxious?
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
Would you feel like that would be a better solution rather than having the approach of, oh, don't feel anxious?
I think getting me ice cream or something.
How can I make you feel better?
Yeah, my what's that? My five first, the love languages, right? Yeah. I'm the material kind of person. Give me gifts, give me jerky, give me bacon, and I'll feel better. Like, food does make me forget. That's why, like, some people overeat. Because food makes me happy, so I eat a lot. Food takes my mind off of things. Or you can make me totally mad at something, and that'll take my mind off of being anxious too. Because today, I think, like, I had an issue today. Yeah. And I was super, super anxious. Okay, so, like, oh wait, I can talk about this because I had psychiatrists, right? So I had 2 psychiatrists, and apparently I'm not supposed to be seeing 2 of them at once. And my insurance, this psychiatrist is telling me, hey, your insurance might not pay for me, so you might have to pay out of your own pocket. Yeah. So that scared me. I was so anxious. I don't really know. She doesn't even really know. She just told me that, and then she's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm gonna charge your insurance right now, and hopefully they charge through. But if they don't, then you're gonna have to pay me. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. I want you to stay safe. Don't be anxious, And then that was it. That was all. And then I just, yeah. I just cannot be not anxious about that. So I was really anxious, but so our manager gave me this fidget cubes thing. Yeah. But the fidget cube is supposed to help me, right? Yeah. Be less anxious. And I think it did, because the fidget cube is actually very very hard to play with for some reason. I think the one that I have, like, needs more, like, oil to, like, because it's very squeaky, right? So, and there was this roller thingy on the fidget cube, and I couldn't even roll it, so I got really frustrated. And, like, I was just trying really hard to roll the thing, and the frustration took my mind off of the issue that I had in the first.
That's a really good coping skill.
I know, right? Just make me angry. Yeah. That's why, like, I play League of Legends. I play games, right? Because I'm so stressed. Like, everybody makes me stressed. Every little things make me stressed. I'm like a hamster, okay? And then, but I cope by playing League of Legends because, okay, this isn't a sponsored thing, but League of Legends tells me so much, I forget everything. I'm just so focused on hating everybody in that game that I'm peacefully not stressed. I don't know. I guess I'm just full of salt.
League of Legends, please sponsor us.
Yeah, please sponsor us.
You're helping us with the coping skills.
Yes. Anyway, that's it.
I kind of want to get back on the topic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, you
stigma.
Yes,
it's very very prevalent. Even though, like, some people will pretend and come forward and say, oh yeah, mental health, I believe in that, but you know, kind of on the back they're like saying they don't really believe in that. And so with the stigma that I've dealt with is a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Mexican culture. They think that, you know, mental illness isn't real, that you have to kind of pray to God and pray to Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that everything's going to be okay and everything like that. But, you know, sometimes that doesn't work. You know, praying, it can be effective as a coping skill, but praying won't just fix everything.
Yeah. You know what? I think psychologists, or even like when you're studying psychology, right? I feel like people are like mean to people studying psychology too. Like, you know, like people who like, why are you studying psychology? It's a useless degree or something. Like there's that kind of thing because they don't believe in the illness of, you know, the mind. They just think that it's some made up thing, you know, just to scare people. They just don't believe it. Even though there's so much scientific studies backing it up, they don't take the time to, you know, learn more. You know?
Yeah. So there's a lot of ignorance within mental health, but people don't realize that the mind and the body are both one. They're both connected. So if you're sick, you're gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel anxious, worried, stuff like sad, and then your mind will then affect your body. Like there's this phenomenon of somatic symptoms where whenever you're having let's say depression or anxiety, you're thinking about these things and then your stomach starts hurting, you're getting stomach aches, you're getting the runs, you're like your heart palpitates, you have like racing heart, and your mind really does affect your body. So a lot of people with like anxiety or depression, they end up going to their doctor and they're having these symptoms, and your doctor is running these tests and everything turns out fine. But once your doctor realizes, are you having any problems with socially, mentally, anything like that, and it turns out that you do, it's your mind is like affecting your body. It gets to that point where it gets really bad. People don't realize that whenever you're stressed, you're gonna have like symptoms, like you're gonna get more sick often. Like people don't realize that your mind affects your body a lot.
I feel like even like psychiatrists and therapists, there are some, you know, like some in the bunch where like they themselves kind of iffy about mental health. And that's how, like, you know, like ADHD, right? Some of them are selective. Like, they believe in depression, anxiety, and PTSD, but they don't believe in ADHD. They, for some reason, they just don't. And then when you tell them, hey, can I get tested for ADHD? You don't have ADHD. You just have depression. Yeah. Or, like, you just have anxiety. And that's why it turns people away from doing therapy or psychiatry, because they feel invalidated, you know, and they want to be validated. They want to try, like, I don't know what the process is behind them not being able to get tested for ADHD, but, you know, like, maybe there's some force of will, you know, rules that you can't get tested for ADHD right off the bat. You have to test these other things first, you know. But I feel like maybe you just let them try it, you know, and then see where it goes from there. And so that they, you know, feels, you know, a satisfaction, like, hey, I got this over with, and it turns out this is the result, and whatever that happens, I'll take it, right? And then I'll figure out what's really wrong with me. Because some people are so, they self-diagnose, right? And self-diagnose isn't a bad thing. Well, it's kind of dangerous, you know. But sometimes you want to look up the symptoms and you find, hey, what are my similar symptoms to this illness, right? And then you use that and you go to the doctor and you're like, hey, this is what I think is similar. But people are so tunnel vision into like one single mental illness and they forgot that, you know, it could be caused by other things. So yeah, self-diagnosing is dangerous. Not recommended, but no, there's no shame in looking up the symptoms.
So if you're having mental health symptoms, please go to your doctor so you can be referred to a specialist.
Yeah, get professional help.
Professional help.
Maybe some people have financial problems, so they can't really get professional help yet. But there are, you know,
there are many resources.
Yeah.
Please go to Benefits Cal to see if you're eligible through your income. Usually they'll tell you, and then they'll send you an email. And usually if you're like working a minimum wage job, somewhere around there, they send you off to Covered California, where you can choose very affordable plans up to $0 to $15 a month. So I advise you to go there to get your health insurance, and usually it'll be effective within the next month.
Yeah. Well, and that's all, folks. Wait, that's copyrighted, right? Recap. What did we talk about today, Briana?
We talked about a lot of things.
Well, this is our first episode. It's called Out of Focus. That's the recap right there. The
so
name.
Hopefully,
that
we brought ADHD into the focus.
Yeah. And you know who we are, so next time you see us, you'll be familiar.
Yeah, very familiar with us.
So stick around and find out.
Find out what's our next topic.
Exactly.
For next episode.
Yes. Leave a comment below.
Leave comments below. Give us some ideas about what should we talk about next.
Yeah.
Yes, go to our website. Check out our website. We have a newsletter. If you just want to get updates about the different mental health topics we're covering, and then watch our videos. And if you would like to be a part of our program, please go into the sign up.
Yeah, the register form.
Register form.
Yes, on our website. It's very easy. Click a button, you know. And follow our social, please.
Yes, we're on Instagram, Facebook,
at
LinkedIn. All right, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you have a great weekend.
Great day.
It's a weekend, so we're filming this on a Friday. So have a great weekend.
Yay, Friday. All right, bye.
Bye.